Hello, Super Up here, the Super Sign Guy. Welcome to our weeding, masking, and applying vinyl graphics training video. This is step one. First, we're going to weed out all the letters that we don't want to keep, basically by removing the insides of each letter. We call this reverse weeding. And step two, masking. Our next step, masking, pretty easy. We're going to take out about a foot and a half material, roll it out. With both hands, we're going to gently put down a section and use our hand to push it down. Next, you're going to need a cardboard tube. We're going to use this to push the mask across the vinyl. And use your left hand or right hand, depending on which way you go, to make sure that kind of let leftover air out as you go. Since this is long, we're going to go ahead and do it in two parts. We're going to squeegee down, make sure it's locked in place. Then we're going to relocate the material by just lifting and pulling it onto the table. Now we can go ahead and push the last foot and a half. Next, we're going to go ahead and trim off the extra. This will make it easier to rotate and do the other side. Roll it up, flip it over, and show you the same thing we just did to the other side. Next, you're going to take the knife, basically trim off the extra, and you're all set to go. Here is an alternative method. If you'd like to know how to set up the pole and hook system, it's fairly easy to figure out, but email me at thesupersignguy@gmail.com and I can send you information on how to do that. Our third step is application. This is where it becomes fun. This next step, we're going to basically roll it out onto the acrylic, and using blue tape, we're going to lock down a section at a time. Making sure that our graphic is level and center, we tape down a section at a time. Once the graphic is centered, we're going to use a method called center hinging. Basically, take the blue tape and apply it across the section and onto the table. This creates a hinge so that we can pull up one side and apply one side at a time. Next step is going to be pulling the corner up. We're going to remove the paper backing. I'm going to use some scissors here and just cut that piece away. We're going to use some alcohol and wipe down the acrylic one more time. This is just an extra step. And then we're going to use our wet application fluid basically to get the surface wet along with the graphic. You can't use too much. Next, you're going to slide it back over. And then start the application process with the squeegee, working from your center to the out. If you need to make some adjustments, you just peel up the edge, as you can see, and continue on center out. Just keep squeegeeing and make sure you get all the water out. Lift and continue. Once that's complete, we're going to remove our blue line, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to peel back all the paper. But this time we're going to get it wet as we move. So a little bit here, a little bit there. We get the acrylic wet. As you can see, I'm going to pull as I spray. This allows the rest of it to get wet as we go. The water also helps with static, which helps with dust and debris. A little bit more water never hurts. Go ahead and lay it back down, and like a bed sheet, you're going to lift it and set it back down. Again, if you have any issues where it starts to wrinkle on you or it's not lying down properly, you just pull up the end and kind of let the air go in between it and continue on from center out. And now for our last step, we're going to spray it one more time. This softens the mask and allows it for easy removal. You can wait a few minutes if you'd like. It's best to spray and let set for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then it makes it easier to remove. Next, we're going to check everything out. We're going to make sure there's no excess water, bubbles, or air pockets. We're going to squeegee out anything that we can see and kind of go through it one by one. Next, using a heat gun, we're going to use some heat to shrink and dry out some of the areas to make sure it locks down nice and tight. And yes, that is a battery operated heat gun. And that is it. Wipe it down, the end.